But I'm here with the Regional Director for the Ghana Education Service, in the person of Mr. Mohammed Arun. And as the most powerful person regards education in the northern region, he's going to give us an insight into what the free SHS in the northern region pertain to before government's decision to introduce the double track. So, Mr. Harun, can you tell us what free education meant before the free SHS program came in last year and now the double track?
Yeah. In the northern part of Ghana, we have some kind of historical antecedents that led to the free educational system. And it came as a form of colonial legacy, which was, transmitted to the north as a result of the fact that the northern region intelligentsia before independence were very skeptical about how they were going to be handled by their counterparts from down south. So they were very skeptical. They didn't want to join the colony for independence. But to assure them that they will be catered for, the colonial government decided to give 10 million pounds.
I heard they went to see the Queen, actually, the Queen of England, when she was here for the independence celebration.
Exactly. I'm just trying to sum up. That's why I said they gave them. Because at the end of the day, they were given, the British government gave them the 10 million cedis to cater for the educational needs of the then northern territories, which are made up now of the northern region, upper east and upper west regions. So this money was meant to bring them up in terms of education, because the northern intelligentsia at that time felt that they didn't have doctors. They were promised hospitals, they were promised railway lines, they were promised so many things in order that they join the colony for independence. And they also argued that if they didn't have doctors, they didn't have engineers and all those technocrats, even administrators, then it would still be the same problem. The staff coming to be their doctors, coming to be their engineers, and coming to be their technocrats, and they could be sabotaged. In fact, that was their main concern. Their development could be sabotaged. And that's why this money was meant for them to be brought up in terms of education. That's how the free education in northern region came out, and the north came about.
So the 10 million pounds, what was it used for? And does a portion of the money still remain?
Well, that is the question. And you can see a lot of people are quoting Mr. Robert Ajeni, who was himself a regional director of education. And he still feels that we should get people to account for the 10 million because it has an inflationary effect. And what has happened to the 10 million pounds that was given for us to catch up?
What was it used for?
Well, I know historically it was meant for us to pay for our educational needs, that for the northern territories.
With regards to the free SHS and the double track in general, which lessons can the entire nation learn from the three northern regions? Because you have some experience with this system. What are maybe the 5 major lessons that the rest of the country or the government can learn from this system that you have implemented over the years?
Yes, with the free senior high school arriving, it has come to complement what we're already enjoying, for that the free education. Well, I can say it was not entirely free.
What are some of the things that it covered?
Yeah, it covered feeding grants. It covered tuition. And in Ghana, nobody in any school pays for tuition. All of us had free tuition. So that one was not an exception for the three northern regions. But the exception was the feeding grants and then the provision of books. And our district assembly provided us with school uniform and sandals. It wasn't from central government. So I can say that it was just the feeding grant that made the secondary education free for us in the north. But let us come back to the free senior high. I know the free senior high school has come to equalize education in the country. It has come to democratize education in the country, and it has come in a way to bring about equity. Because I know it's not only those in the north who are poor. We have, even in the north, we have urban rich and we have urban poor. So down south too, we know there are poor people. So I don't have any problem with free senior high school.
Nationally, what can we learn from what's already
No,
existed?
that's what I'm saying. Because we are used to the free senior high, you know, when you attempt to introduce some kind of fees, parents resisted. And this is something that we should learn. You know, when people are giving something free and then for a long time you want to take that away, it becomes a right.
You mean when you ask them to pay for maybe there's a particular school that's short of chairs and the PTA has to come up with some support? Exactly
so. The reason because they felt everything should be free. But I'm saying that the free senior high has come to complement it because, or just to make it normal, to normalize it, because now nobody pays anything. The parents don't pay anything. And that makes it free, completely free. And then I think that the whole country can learn from it, that the whole country needs this free senior high school, because it's not everybody in the country who is rich enough. So it's a lesson that we have learned. So secondly, free senior high school has brought about massive participation in secondary education, and that is going to bring some kind of domino effect on the request for university education. You know, from senior high, a lot of them will pass, and there will be a burden on the university. So I believe that the whole country will learn that the universities must prepare themselves for the influx of a lot of students who have passed as a result of the free senior high school. So it's a lesson for all Ghanaians to learn, and so the universities must get prepared.
So regionally, I don't know if you have the figures, but how many students will be going to SHS first year this year?
I'm not very categorical about the region, but what I know that at the national level we have projected that we will have 181,993 students who will be left out of senior high school if we don't implement the double tracking. And we are doing the double tracking to cater for them so that we don't tell them to go to the doldrums. We don't tell them to go to the bush.
So finally, we are all looking forward to September when the first batch of the double track students are expected. Is the northern region ready? Is the region you oversee, is it ready?
The northern region is more than ready for the double track system, because we have been given the selected schools and we have no problem with double tracking. We are welcoming it with all open arms.
Are you saying reports of threats of schools being closed down because of a delay in feeding grants will not be heard this year? You are ready?
No, already we even have oversupplies of foodstuff from the buffer stock in some of our schools. So after the foodstuff, we know they are going to be available, and that's why we are not afraid. And the feeding will cover both tracks. It's not that one track will have free from buffer stock and the other will no. The two tracks are going to both will be benefiting free from the buffer stock supply. So there will be enough food. And with the government policy of food planting for food and jobs, there's going to be a lot of food, very cheap, affordable prices at farm gates, and so our schools will get enough food. And we are just happy to embrace the double track system.
Thank you very much.